This is just craziness. Hello. Hi. Okay, so I'm doing a couple I'm doing too much right now. Let me tell y'all I'm doing too much right now. I wanted to go live and I wanted to do it on Facebook and Instagram at the same time. But it's really weird right now. Um Facebook has changed this whole thing. I'm sorry, y'all. Just give me 1 second. Facebook has changed this whole thing, and I'm like, I just want to see my live thing. Like, I don't want to see all this dashboard and whatnot. It's really crazy. It's crazy. I guess they don't want. They're like, you don't need to see you going live. It's weird. Okay. Anyway, hello, hi. All right. So you know what? Forget that because that doesn't matter. So my apologies if I don't wave at you all or I've missed your wave. Um. So hi and hey, Facebook. I know I haven't gone live on Facebook in a minute. Hey. Okay, so a couple of things. To those of you who are kind of new to me or new to my going live, when I go live, I generally am teaching. So I might miss your comments on the offset, but I will do my best to come back towards the end and address anything that you said in the comments before I finish. It's just I end up going on a stream of consciousness, and then I get distracted by the comments. Um, Absolutely. Um, Two. Well, there is no two. All right, so let me get into it. Um, you are the power. I had a whole bunch of thoughts in my mind about what I wanted to go live about tonight, and really, it all stems from this confusion and this anger and this foolishness that I see going back and forth between men and women. That's really where this stems from. Um, and the constant bickering that's seeming to take place. I say seeming because it's very much, I see it a lot on social media, right? So I can't say that everybody's doing this in real life, which is even sadder. I really hope that y'all don't come on to social media and you're flapping your gums and you're arguing with folks, but in real life your life is copacetic. So I'm gonna talk about two things tonight, actually, because that reminds me. The first is that you are the power, and if I remember, this addiction to drama that people have. Let's talk about the addiction to drama first. Um, I have noticed, I have noticed that I'm not blaming entertainment, I'm not blaming television, I'm not blaming movies, I'm not blaming anything. I have noticed, though, that since the programming has shifted a bit over the past 20 years or so, that it seems that people are more hardwired for drama, as though people cannot live without having, they need their adrenaline constantly spiked and they need to be in a constant state of agitation. And this especially affects women, especially affects us because, it's part of our makeup is to be in flow with our emotions. We're not, but it's part of our makeup. And we love stories and storytelling and all of that type of thing. And it seems, though, that with the programming that people have been infused with in their lives and the way they've taken art and allowed life to imitate art, it seems that people are addicted to drama. It feels boring if people don't have anything to gossip about. It feels boring if people don't have anything to argue about. It's like one of the reasons why folks will come on to someone's social media post and they just want to start, I don't like you. I don't like what you said. I'm offended. Like you need the drama. We don't know how to just be still. We certainly know how to just we don't know how to just be quiet. And I'm not talking about be quiet in a sense of submissive. I'm talking about just this just ain't this is not for me to speak on. I don't need to speak on it. I don't need to waste my energy on it. We anything. Now, how does this tie into what I have seen when it comes to relationships? And I am not a relationship coach, but I am for women, and I am for women being sovereign. And what I'm seeing a lot of is a lot of women being victimized and pointing fingers and blaming and wanting the men to do all kinds of things. They got a list. They got a list of demands the women do. List of demands what the men need to do. And they love the drama. They love the drama. I often say, no one is coming to save you in your life. Obviously, this excludes you being in a fire because somebody's going to come on and say something stupid like that. Obviously, right? No one's coming to save you. Women, we have far more power than we think. When we own it, things shift. But we have not actually been owning that power. Rather, we've been owning pieces of this power. So we've learned or we're learning to own like the sexual power, which I am a fan of. I want women to own all of their sexual power. I want you to feel in to your pussy and really just get it. And understand how important that connection is. But see, we're missing the connection part. Because a lot of you think that a powerful pussy means that, you got a tight grip and that means you can make him do all kinds of things and make him fall in love with you and all of that. And I'm like, that's easy. But what can you create? So this is kind of prompted by, I should have started with this in the beginning. Sorry, y'all. This is kind of prompted by a reel that I saw. That one of my friends sent me in Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. We like to have discussions about things. And it was something about women's dream guy. And, this idea that women want this tall man making six figures. Like that's all women want is this tall dude making six figures. And that's a lot of the focus that I hear about too. Right? When in reality, the average man is 5'9". And the median income for men in the United States is like $41,000, $42,000 a year. That's not advanced, though significant. And in fact, women don't even need to be doing that many Kegels. It's really not actually healthy for the vaginal walls. It's like constantly weightlifting with your bicep. So women have this idea. This is what's been fed out there. I was talking about the programming, right? Talking about the programming. Hey, talking about the programming. So there's programming that has been put in place for folks to believe that they're supposed to, for women to believe that they're supposed to be seeking some type of model of a man. That is supposed to make X amount of money, look X amount of way, and that's the first thing that they're thinking about. Not a near mention of his character, his values, his spiritual beliefs. I hear a whole lot of chatter about his income. And I'm like, these women don't get how powerful they actually are. Because if you understood that, then you would know. Because you're all like connected to your pussy now, right? Because everybody's sexually liberated. You got into your pussy power. Then you would know that if you found a man with good character or whatever that is to you, y'all y'all align on your values, your beliefs, even if his income is 36,000, you would know that the two of you working together and you bringing that feminine energy to the table, all of your money is going to shoot up. All of it. So that leads me to believe, yeah, penis and wallet is what men have been reduced to. The penis and the wallet. So that leads me to believe that women actually do not understand how sovereign they are. Women do not understand how powerful they are. Women are still, and this is general, so if this doesn't apply to you as a woman, nothing to worry about. There's still a lot of, well, this is what men need to do. This is what men need to do. Once men do this, then I will do such and such. Once men show me this, then I will do such and such. So it's like, it's almost like, it's like you're not waiting to be, it's weird because it's like, I don't want to be in charge, but I'm going to be in charge. I'm honestly a little bit confused by it. If you're clear as a woman on who you are, if you're clear on your sovereignty, if you're not looking for a man to save you, then some of these conversations are mute. Because his income is not an issue. People, all people, are looking at money and relationships for two major reasons. Safety. They're looking at money and relationships because they're wanting safety. If you grow up in an environment that's not safe and you haven't learned how to create your own safety and you haven't learned how to regulate your nervous system, you're going to grow up to become an adult who's still looking for that safety from a child's point of view, not an adult. So being in a relationship provides safety to some extent. And I'm not talking about like physical safety, though I'm sure it can as well. Being in a relationship makes you feel like I have my person. I'm not alone in the world. I'm with somebody. It's emotional safety. The money provides the physical safety. And so many of us are chasing one or the other because we're hoping that they'll help us feel safe. But sovereignty says, I create my safety, not to the exclusion of others. So this is not a, I don't need a man. I don't need no man in my life. I got all my bag, whatever it is, I have all of that. That's not safety. That's fear. That's keeping yourself closed off because you're afraid. But when you truly, again, understand that you are the power and the creator in your life, some of these questions and arguments and discussions, there's nothing to argue about. Who are you arguing with? Men do this and women do that. And let me talk to the men for a minute too, because y'all are doing some of the same foolishness. Why are you arguing with these women? Like, if you're clear on who you are, why are you arguing with these women? Your ego needs to defend itself against someone who's clearly not in their right mind, of their space, because I've heard some women talk, and let me tell y'all, it was not pleasant. Just like the men. But y'all are going back and forth, yelling at each other, sparring with each other. And all I hear when I hear that are small children. Small children who want to be right, who need to feel loved, who want to be safe, and don't want to say any of that. Who are afraid and don't want to say any of that. So they resort to name calling. Because that's what you do when your emotions are unregulated when you're a child. You start name calling. You doo-doo head. You're a giant platypus. When you're an adult and you're standing in your power, you don't. Why are you calling people names? It's just okay. You got that. I'm good. And a lot of women, Subnificent, I don't understand that. We argue because the woman adds value to us within the circle of male relationships. I don't understand that part. I think a lot of people have a limited vocabulary. A lot of people do. They just do. And it's, that's no shade. It's just a lot of people have a limited vocabulary because we're not taught to expand with a lot of critical thinking. The reason why I wanted you all to know that you are the power is because I think it sounds cool to hear it, but to actually believe it and then to live it requires some work that a lot of people don't seem to be willing to do. So for you to understand that you are the power, that means you stop pointing fingers at people. It means you stop saying, but the men need to do this, but the women need to do that. You stop doing that. That's a victim. I can't find somebody because all of the men are X, Y, and Z. All of the women are X, Y, and Z. No, sweets, you keep choosing the same type of men and women. So let's look at why you're doing that. It's because the men don't value the women. All the men? Every single last one of them? There's 8 billion people on this earth. The women, they're all gold diggers. All of them? All the women are gold diggers? There's something in the brain called the reticular activating system. The job of the reticular activating system is to catalog what you find in your life to make it easier for you to find again. It is a very important part of the brain because it is the part of the brain that, when we were living, on the plains, right? And the lion was kind of like in the background. It was the reticular activating system. It's like, ooh, let's remember that sound because when we hear it, we need to run. So it's important. What happens when the reticular activating system, I don't want to say is run amok, but what happens when it's on high alert is if you find yourself in one relationship or 2 or 3 that kind of end up the same way, your reticular activating system now says we got to look out for that. We have to scan for that. And so everywhere you go, you will find the same kind of woman and the same kind of man. It's accustomed to seeing. In order for some of these things to shift, you are going to need to take a hard look at who you are. What do you want? What changes do you need to make in order to have it? The reason why I have to say no one is coming to save you is because if you are not pleased with the caliber of men or women that have been coming into your life, you are the problem. You are the problem. Maybe you need to move. That's just facts. Maybe you need to find someplace else to live. Maybe you need to spend some time alone and determine what it is that you're actually looking for in a mate. Maybe you need to spend some time cultivating your own value system so that you're clear on what it is that runs your life, and you can find someone else to do the same. Maybe you need to spend some time loving yourself so much that if you were single for the rest of your life, you would be good. And not from this place of, nah, I'm good. There's too much foolishness and fuckery in the world. I don't want to deal with any of that. But from a real place of, no, I'm actually really good. I love me and I enjoy me. I would love someone to share that with for sure. But if it doesn't happen, I'm really okay. But what a lot of people are doing, and this comes back to you being the power, a lot of people are actually not looking for a relationship. They're looking for someone to fill the holes and spaces in which they weren't loved or did not get perceived safety when they were younger. And so they're looking for the other person to make them feel loved and safe. That is not the job of a relationship. It is not the job of a relationship to make you feel loved or safe. Just like it is not your job to make the other person happy. The purpose of a relationship is growth and union. It is not all of the romantic stuff. While that is beautiful and it is a part of it, it's not the purpose of it. Anyway, I feel like I went around in circles because there was so much that I wanted to say and I couldn't like gather it all together. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna have to start taking notes, y'all. I'm gonna have to start taking notes on what I want to talk about. That'll be weird for me. Um, all right, but that's gonna be it. Hey, Facebook. Hey, Instagram. Thank y'all for um joining. I do have a podcast, Jasmine. I just have to put some new episodes up there. It's Sensual Energy Alchemy. I have a podcast up here. Um, I'm just reading the comments. Subnificent, that's part of what I'm addressing. It's part of what I'm addressing. Generally, when I'm teaching, I mean, if you want to ask a question about what I'm teaching, that's fine. But I'm pretty clear on what it is that I'm saying. I don't really need too much. What I was addressing is what I addressed. It's what I addressed. I don't know about high value. I try and stay away from those words because people associate this high value with something else. Everyone is of high value. Everyone. And that's the problem. There's no low value person. There are people who don't understand their value. Hence the idea of you being the power. Everyone is of high value. There is no such thing as a low value person. That's, I don't even know what that is. And people who are hurt and afraid will resort to name calling as a protective mechanism so they don't have to acknowledge or address the fact that they are afraid. Anger is often a cover emotion. It doesn't mean that there aren't times when we're actually angry. But when you're in an argument with someone, the anger is a cover emotion. There's a feeling of threat, which means there's a feeling of fear. And so people will resort to all kinds of foolishness in order to seem brave instead of just being honest. Dudes certainly aren't gonna about to say, wow, that comment really hurt me and I felt some fear. I'm not expecting them to do that either. But the other extreme of it isn't good. And women have become so, I'll have to do a whole nother live stream about, how women have swayed to masculine energy and men have swayed to feminine energy to the point where it's the roles are so twisted. I'm not necessarily talking about gender roles, just the roles are so twisted that the conversations sound ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Arguing with each other like this. And like I said, it's small children whose egos are feeling very bruised And they don't want to acknowledge the real issue underneath. I'm afraid I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. I'm afraid no one is going to actually love me. I'm afraid no one is going to love me for me. I'm afraid my life is going to suck. And what I need is for someone to come along and help me make my life less uncomfortable. So they need to love me so that I don't have to feel these uncomfortable feelings anymore. They need to love me so that I don't have to feel so alone and so afraid and so scared. And then when they don't love me that way, I'm even more afraid and alone and scared because it didn't work out. Now it's all of you men and all of you women. And nobody's dealing with the underlying issues. What are you actually afraid of? What are you afraid of? That's what it is. It does. It is a real fear, and it does start at a young age, which is why I said the reason why people chase the money or they chase the sex relationships is because they're really looking for a sense of safety. But trying to tie it back into the beginning, because it takes me a minute to warm up, and now it's like, here I am, this is where I wanted to go. When you understand that you are the powerful person, each one of you is, and you understand that you have a hand in the creation of your own life, then you're not at the whim of what some men or some women are doing, and you get to choose. And you get to say, that's not for me. You stand in your sovereignty, which means you are your authority, and you say, that is not for me. Not, I don't think it's for me, but maybe let me give it a try because I really want to find somebody. I'm not sure if it's for me, but oh, it looks like it might be for me. I have no idea who this person is yet, really, but I think it might be for me. But before you can get to that, there has to be just this basic understanding that you are the power. And especially for the women who are so addicted to these drama cycles. And now the men are as well. Hyped up nervous systems that need the arguing and the fighting and the bickering because you need the cortisol, you need your adrenaline going. You don't know what it is to just be calm. You don't know what it is. And then you think it's boring. Because where's the, where's the passion? Where's all of that? And then complaining at the same time that, you just want it to be smooth. Okay, well, if you want it to be smooth, create that. Men and women. God, Jasmine. I haven't put a lot of episodes up. Jasmine was saying I need a podcast. I do have a podcast. It's on Spotify and iTunes. It's called Sensual Energy Alchemy. It's there. If you Google Sensual Energy Alchemy, you'll find me all over the place. All right, I think that's all I wanted to say tonight. It took me forever to get around to my point, so I'm going to have to start taking writing down notes or something. But look, at the end of the day, this is really what I wanted you all to get out of this. This is for men and women, but I speak a lot to women, so this is for the women in particular. Stop blaming the men because you don't have the types of relationships that you like. Stop thinking that men have to do all of this changing in order for you to find the man that you want. If you're not finding the man that you want, you need to do the changing for you. Same with the men. It's not someone else's job to change so you can have what you want. It is your job to change so you can have what you want and then attract to you the thing that you want. Stop looking at men's incomes as the determining factor for whether or not you're going to be with them. Who gives a shit if he's making six figures or not? And do you understand what comes with a man who's making six figures anyway? Then you're going to be complaining about the amount of time he doesn't spend with you because he's got to go out there and make those six figures. Y'all be wanting some kind of strange life where you don't have to really do shit, some of you, but you got a dude who's going to just spend all his money on you. And look here, I'm an advocate for sex workers. I actually really am. I think prostitution should be legal. But then just say that. Just say that you want a pay-for-play relationship. Plenty of men out there looking to do that. But if what you're looking for is a connection of souls and hearts, which is what a lot of you seem to want, but you're so jaded and hurt and afraid that you have this shield over you where you're like, I really want that, but I can't expose myself to get it. First of all, you're not going to get it if you do that. Ask me how I know. I forgot the second point. I think that's it. Men are not just penis and wallet, y'all. And every man is not ... The same thing for the men. I gotta go really. I'm on this app, Clubhouse. I don't spend a lot of time on it anymore. It's literally in this room. Sometimes I pop into these rooms because I just want to hear what people are saying. And literally heard this woman talk about, what came out of her mouth? Oh, ooh, ooh. All right, let me know if you can still hear me because my battery went low. So let me know if you can still hear me on Instagram. She literally said that men expect too much, but they're only coming with their $42,000 a year. Like, what does that have to do with anything? So if he's making $150,000 a year, then you'll do certain things for him? That can't be how we're operating now. It can't be. Okay, thank you, Significant. It can't be how we're operating now. Do you understand the type of men you're going to attract if that's what you're looking at? And for the men, your vetting process needs to up its game as well. And any woman that you're interested in, same for the woman, you need to bring around your closest female friends and pay attention to what they say about her. Don't get caught up in how good the pussy feels, because men do that too. All right, I think that's it. Please remember that you are the power in your life. Please remember, if you're not attracting the types of people to you that you desire, that it's a good sign that you need to look in the mirror at yourself. If all of your relationships are failing, the problem is you. I don't know how else to say it to you. If all of your relationships are failing and none of them are working out, and you find yourself with the same type of person over and over and over again, it's not because they are the same, it's because you haven't changed. I just did a live today in my membership group for women. I totally forgot what I just talked about, but if you'd like more information about that, you can click the link in my bio on Instagram, and I think the link in my bio on Clubhouse too. Not too many men and women are willing to admit that. No, Jasmine, they are not. They would rather have someone come and save them and say, when you do better, then I can be okay and I don't have to be uncomfortable. But me, change my whole entire life or change who I am or what's going on, I don't want to do that type of work. I don't want to do that. I just want you to be the guy or the woman that just be that. Hey, Jonathan. Thank you. I can't see who's on there on Facebook. You're welcome, Latina J. You're welcome. All right, all. That is it for this evening. I have bibbled on enough. I love you all. I have to figure out how to turn this thing off on Facebook because Facebook has changed its whole thing. Oh, there it is. End live video. Oh, 33 minutes. Perfect. Have a good night, all. Good night, Facebook. Love y'all. Good night, Instagram. I love you too.